Hi guys, I'm Jordan McCrory with the JTAC News, and today we have the honor of being in the presence with Mike Ryan and Sam Riggs in Stephenville, Texas. They're playing tonight at City Limits at 7 o'clock. First off, we're just going to get a little about y'all, where y'all came from, what made y'all want to become artists, why you pick country music. So just both of y'all just switch out, tell us your story.
Let's go. Well, I was born in San Antonio, Texas, and I started playing guitar when I was a senior in high school. Moved up to North Texas. I went to school at UNT there in Denton, and country music was always my favorite. I don't know. I was born in the '80s, grew up in the '90s, and the '90s are still my favorite era of country music. And I wouldn't say that's the kind of music that I play. It's definitely been that sort of music has molded my songs, I guess, a little bit. But I'm also a big fan of classic rock and like the Eagles, Stevie Wonder, Elton John, or some of my favorites. So I feel like there's a little bit of their inspiration peppered in with the rest of stuff, with the rest of the stuff. But that's kind of how I got my start. Sam?
Well, I grew up in Florida, actually, quite a ways away from here. A little town called St. Cloud, and been playing guitar since I was probably about that tall, but not very well. Mike's still better than me. And then my mom taught me how to play. My granddad played banjo and guitar, and I just kind of picked it up. Started writing songs in high school, around 10th grade. They're all terrible songs, and then I kind of worked my way up, and I was a welder for a long time, and I worked cows and stuff and did whatever I had to do, and then the day came that I decided I was tired of living the same life that my family lived for 7 generations, and I just left and came to Texas and never went back. So it's kind of where I came from. 90s country is the best. I was born in 1987, the same year as Metallica Black Tour. It was awesome. And then I don't know, I grew up listening to rock and country and pretty much all kinds of things. I mean, anything from like 3 6 Mafia to, Brad Paisley to Keith Whitley, I mean, you name it, Metallica. And then anyway, so, we just kind of fumble our way down the highway, and we shape ourselves through our scars and through our lessons that we learned, and that's kind of how I ended up where we are.
So how did y'all get to become one? Like, how did y'all get on a tour together? How long have y'all been friends?
Well,
Mike came to me in a dream.
I've been knowing about Sam for a few years now. No, we got this. They had started really a few months ago. We got the invite to go to Music Fest in Steamboat, and this is both of our first years to be invited as artists, and we just thought it would be a really cool thing if we could get some shows to and from Steamboat to kind of help us get out there, first of all, but also to just kind of do something together. Sam and I are very similarly matched, I feel like, with our music and our just kind of where we are and everything. And it seemed like a great idea to me. I mean, we were talking about doing some kind of a tour beforehand, and Sam was my first choice as far as another artist that we wanted to bring along, and luckily him and his people agreed. And
Yes.
They came along with us. So that's kind of how it started. I don't know if Sam, if you got anything to add.
Our tribes came together.
You did the Braveheart thing.
Traveled many moons. No, it's kind of like we were in Denver the other day. We were watching Braveheart for some reason, Yeah, there you go. And so people ask, how this kind of came together. Mike and I are 2 different clans fighting the same battle. Kind of like, that's a geeky way of saying it. But Yeah, I mean, Mike just basically laid it out. When you spend so much time on the road, you kind of, you don't want to say you form alliances, but you find people that kind of you click with. Like, I'm not a big phone talker or texter, and Mike's not either, so we didn't really even talk about this. I don't even think I had your number until like the third day into the tour. We were just kind of like, I don't know, just kind of click. And then, so yeah, just started kind of working out. Mike let me hop on his bus coming home from Steamboat, which was super cool. And I got to sleep for the first time in my life. And I don't know, it's just been awesome. It's been one of those things where, you know, I don't know. Wade and Randy have the whole hold my beer and watch this thing. And I don't want to say we are re-implementing that or recreating it. We're kind of doing our own version of what might resemble that. So.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And this will be the first of many.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Just so anybody's, if there were any questions about that, it's going to happen again.
We're together.
Together forever. All right, so Sam Riggs, you have a new single out, Hold On and Let Go.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that song, where it came from.
That song, so whenever, I'm going to get real technical here. When you listen to a song and you're like, yeah, I love that song, and then you listen to it like the third time, and you're like, wait, it doesn't say what I thought it said. That's what happened with that song. I listened to a George Strait song, one of his new singles, and I was like, oh, that's a cool line. I wish I had thought of that. And then about third time in, I was like, well, he didn't say that at all. I'm going to take that and use that for my song. So that's kind of where it started out. Hold On, Let Go is a song about, from the time we're born to the time we die, people try to tell you what is best for you. But sometimes we're right, most times we're wrong. But that song is just about following your heart and just kind of putting the rest of the world away.
Awesome. And Mike Ryan, you just have a new publishing deal. Do you plan on staying with the Texas music scene? Or are you going to try to move up a little bit to go Nashville? Or
I signed a publishing deal with Seagull, which is a company out of Nashville. And, there's kind of this stigma that Texas folks have about Nashville, and some of it's kind of true, most of it's not. It's just Nashville is a hub like New York and LA. If you're gonna spread your music to the masses, you're gonna have to go through one of those three cities. And for country music, the most natural direction is Nashville. And I work out of Nashville. I've been writing a lot of songs. I recorded my last record in Nashville, and I'm proud to be from Texas, and I'm going to continue to play Texas venues for the rest of my life. But I will be spending time in Nashville as well, and trying to, just go wherever it takes me. I would hate to just stay in Texas forever and never be able to experience what's outside of that, but I am very grateful to have such a loyal fan base and a great just starting point with being from Texas and being around here. So I don't know if that answers.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. So do y'all have any interesting stories that have happened over the tour? Any problems? Anything interesting?
Well, there's plenty of interesting stuff. Whether or not it's appropriate.
We had a fun time in Denver, Colorado. They legalized some things in Colorado that they don't have legalized.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we definitely, had our it was fun. It was just like, it's one of those things where it's like, it's taboo here, it's like you get arrested for that kind of stuff. And and in Denver and many other places in Colorado, you walk in, it's like walking into Walmart, and there's people, here's what we have, and it's just like, they're all dressed in nice suits, and it's all very professional, it's a very clean thing, I kind of expected halfway to walk into like this hut with a guy with dreadlocks and like, something on, and it's just like, what's up, bro, offer me a joint or something like that, and it wasn't like that at all. But anyway, that's not to say that Mike and I, our podheads, are doing anything crazy like that.
Absolutely
Not. But it's cool. It's cool to be able to relax.
Awesome. So what's next for y'all after this tour? What's plans for the future?
Man, it's business as usual. We've got a couple of days off. tonight's the actual last stop of the Snowdrifts and Ski Lifts Tour 2015. Sam Riggs, Mike Ryan. But Sam has a thing on Saturday, and so do we. We've got a different thing. We're going up to Wichita Falls, but then we've got 3 days off, and then we're back at it again. So with our own separate camps, but we'll make this thing happen here, like I've been saying.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest things about touring in Texas is that it's like other places in the United States, people go on these tours, and it's like when the tour's over, then they're just not touring right now. But in Texas, it's like, some people work Monday through Friday. We happen to work like Wednesday through early Sunday morning. And
Right.
so it's just like going to work. But it's awesome. It's the best job in the world.
Yeah.
Best job. Wouldn't trade it for anything.
No way, man. I'm no good at anything else.
All right. So, how'd you feel to win the 2014 Artist of the Year from? You won it with Texas Music Pickers and Study Breaks magazine. What did that feel like?
That was cool. It was one of those things where it's kind of like I do what I do to the best of my ability because fans deserve it. You know what I mean? And so it's like we couldn't play shows if people didn't show up. So it's like it's my job to do that. And so I was very humbled. I don't know. I'm not big on contests. I don't like kind of like gauging other artists and
Right.
There's no first place if you ask me. But I mean I was definitely very humbled. It's very cool.
Awesome. And Mike Ryan, you're getting pretty big in Texas. How's that feel compared to other music greats? Like, because you're being compared to legends and everything. What?
Well, I mean, anytime you can get, recognized for something like that, it's really cool. I mean, it's certainly not it's not my main goal as far as, I don't want to be seen as, well, I won't say that.
You don't want to brag on himself.
That's right.
Mike's an American badass. Is what we're trying to say.
I mean, it's very flattering. I'm happy to be mentioned in that sort of company, and it's really cool. I mean, I'm happy to see that folks are digging what I'm doing. I'm certainly having a good time doing it. And so when other people appreciate that, it's very cool.
Awesome. All right. So what do you think sets Texas music apart from Nashville country? Like we were talking about earlier, but what sets country music apart from that? In y'all's opinion?
What's the difference between country music that comes out of Nashville and Texas?
Yeah, like y'all's opinion of Texas country compared to Nashville.
I honestly, I don't know. I'll take the reins on this one if you don't mind. I feel like there's a lot of terrible music that comes out of both places. So it's kind of not to say which one's better. I honestly feel like Texas country is more of a state of mind. It's more of like a pride of your own brand, creating something that you kind of own, and I'm all about that. I think that, the Nashville, quote unquote, it gets a bad rap because there's a lot of like top 40 songs that come out. Mm-hmm. They're just, a lot of them are just terrible. And and it's just a different way that they do things out there. They put a lot of money into some acts. They take people who are have either a great voice or they're really pretty or whatever, and they just kind of like put them in like here's your career, fly. And then sometimes they fly and sometimes they don't. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is Texas is definitely notorious in a good way for really pushing entrepreneurship and originality and kind of stamping out your own place in the world. And that's why a lot of artists find themselves fitting in here, even if they're not here, i.e. Sturgill Simpson, Jason Isbell, people like that, who really kind of, been kicking it for a long time.
Right. So I know y'all are on tour together and y'all want to continue that. Is there any other artists that kind of you would dream to go on a tour with besides each other? I know y'all are inseparable, but dream-wise.
Metallica.
Man,
I don't know. Yes.
Well, as far as, there's people in the Texas scene that I would like to do. I wouldn't call those dreams because I feel like those are just phone
Right.
calls away. We can just make those happen. If we're talking about like, you know, anybody, I mentioned earlier that I'm a big Stevie Wonder fan. If I could play a show with him or Elton John, those are two of my favorite vocalists of all time. So if I could do anything with those guys, it'd be awesome. But you know, there's people like George Strait, Brad Paisley. George isn't touring anymore, so he says. Yeah, those would be awesome.
Metallica.
Garth Brooks?
Dude, I was gonna say Garth Brooks. I'd
He's
love to go
coming
on tour.
back out.
Yeah, I'd go. Garth's coming out, back out on tour. I'd love to do a show with that guy. I'd love to do a show with Dirk Bentley. I think that guy's a lot of fun. Jamie Johnson, probably. That guy's crazy. Awesome in a good way. I mean, there's a lot of artists I think out there. But I think the bottom line is just like, you know, you can sit there and idolize people and say, hey, I would love to do a tour with this person. But at the end of the day, you know, you have to call the shot to say, I want to be the first of my kind and not the second of another kind.
Right.
So.
You gotta make your own person, make your own name.
Yeah.